Why Team UAE Emirates are over-racing Tadej Pogačar before Tour de France by a totally unbiased, mildly sleep-deprived cycling YouTuber who has read too many power meter graphs and low-key stalks the greats. Introduction. In the saddle of madness. Yep, the pro cycling calendar, that wonderfully rational, perfectly balanced, totally not bonkers carousel of races stitched together by men in team cars who wear sunglasses indoors and unironically say things like, quote, ride for the break, and quote, burn all your matches. Into this finely tuned ecosystem rides the chosen one, the Slovenian superstar, the wattage bazooka with a baby face, Tadej Pogačar. Now, Pogačar isn't just a cyclist. He's a brand, a strategy, a commodity, and most importantly, a human being. Or at least he was, until Team UAE decided he was actually a sort of carbon fiber golem who doesn't require rest, recovery, or even a general concept of mortality. Because, friends, Tadej is racing a lot. More than your average Euro Tour double dreamer. More than your dad brags about riding in his midlife crisis Zwift sessions. He's racing like there's a prize to attend every sign-on ceremony on the continent. Why? Oh, don't worry. The reasons are plentiful, and none of them make much long-term sense, but let's take a look at them, shall we? Number 1. The great myth of race fitness. How to cook a Pogačar in 12 weeks or less. Let's be generous for a second. Maybe, just maybe, Team UAE's strategy is built on some kind of deeply spiritual belief that racing more equals better form. The Pogačar, like some sort of mythical cycling Pokemon, must be exposed to enough race environments to evolve into his final tour-winning form. Gotta race 'em all. So far in 2024, he had hit more start lines than a freshman at their first open mic night. Then, in this year, he's done it even worse. He's raced race after race almost every weekend. It's crazy. You name it. The guy's raced almost everything in the past year and a half. Strada Bianca, Paris-Roubaix, Volta a Catalunya, Liège, all of them. The classics. He's tried to take on the cobbles. He's stuck with the mountains. Whatever next, we'll see him in mountain bike races, towing the line with Van der Poel. If there's a mountain, a KOM, or a dusty gravel section, there's a 98% chance Pogačar's there with a smile on his face and 6.5 watts per kilo in his legs. But here's the catch. It hasn't always worked. Sure, he's looked strong. Sure, he's won some, but he's also lost, and in ways we're not used to seeing. You know that thing where someone rides away from him and stays away? Yeah, it's not a glitch, it's just fatigue. When the body's low on glycogen and the mitochondria are filling HR complaints, bad things happen. And it doesn't matter if your name is Tadej, Tom, or Timmy 2 Watts, burnout is real. Race fitness only works if there's some actual rest in between races. Otherwise, congratulations, you're just training through peak form until you're flatter than the profile of the Tour's token sprint stage. The question Team UAE should be asking isn't, quote, how many races can he do? It's how many should he do? And if the answer is, quote, as many as we can cram into the calendar before July, then they've learnt their sports science from a Monster Energy can. Number 2. The human chess piece. Corporate strategy with lycra and sideburns. Let's drop the facade for a moment. There's a cynical little voice in the back of our minds, the one that wears rimless glasses and reads quarterly profit reports, whispering that maybe UAE Team Emirates just doesn't really care about whether Tadej is a fully rested tour-ready champion. Maybe they just want exposure, eyeballs, clicks, broadcast minutes, and Tadej delivers those like Amazon Prime on Red Bull. Every start line he toes, that's a media boost. Every attack, another highlight reel. every podium, a press release, and a shiny photo for the sponsors to plaster over a bottle of overpriced mineral water or luxury condos in the Dubai desert. So what if his body starts to give out? What if his VO2 max begins whispering, "Help me," in Slovenian? They'll get their return on investment, and if things go belly up before Paris, well, next year is only 8 months away. If Pogačar cracks under the strain, they've got Juan Ayuso, or maybe they'll just scoop up the next 19-year-old from Slovenia with a mountain goat engine and an Instagram following. The sport can be cruel that way. It's a revolving door of suffering souls in white bib shorts. And if Tadej pushes back, if he says, "Hey guys, I'd like to skip the tour and maybe not do every classic between February and May," well, riders have been mysteriously sidelined for less. A quiet transfer, a quote-unquote strategic move, a softly phrased statement about mutual goals not aligning. See you in some other team's colours, sunshine. Well, I think that's what happened with Tom Pidcock. Something wasn't going well with the team's dynamic, and they just said, "Oh, it's mutual agreements. He left on his own free will and accord." Sure. Number 3, the man himself. King of smiles, lord of risky decisions. But maybe we're being unfair to UAE. Maybe they're not the evil masterminds after all. Maybe this was all Tadej's idea. Yep, buckle up. There's a very real chance that the smiling assassin himself wants to race this much. That in the most pure and terrifyingly optimistic way, Tadej thinks riding more races equals better preparation. That every pre-tour climb, every bonus sprint, every time he goes full tilt on some goat trail in Tuscany, he's sharpening his blade for the big July showdown. And hey, it might work. He's done it before, kind of, but we need to talk about the risks. You know, the entire genre of cycling horror stories, tilted crashes, collarbones, and concussion. More racing means more chances for disaster. A slick descent, a badly judged corner, a stray Biden thrown like a Mario Kart banana peel, or worst of all, Remco Evenepoel. Every single day Tadej signs on is another opportunity for the wheel of misfortune to spin, and nobody wants their Tour de France poster boy showing up in July looking like he spent June in a blender. You'd think somebody, a coach, a manager, an old Belgium guy wearing a puffy vest, would say, "Maybe sit this one out, champ." But Tadej isn't just racing with his legs. He's racing with that never say die romanticism that made us fall in love with the sport in the first place. While it's beautiful, it's also insane. Conclusion: the tragedy of over-excellence. So here we are, a tale as old as time, or at least as old as Lance's USPS era training logs. A team with too much money, a rider with too much talent, and a calendar that never says no. Team UAE might be burning their brightest star faster than a wattage bazooka on a 12% gradient. Maybe it's calculated risk, maybe it's corporate greed, maybe it's just the heart of a champion refusing to skip a race because he loves pain. But here's the truth, cycling isn't about who races the most, it's about who's standing, preferably upright, preferably on a podium, in the third week of July, somewhere between heartbreak and glory. If Pogačar gets there burnt, broken or bruised, well, don't say we didn't warn you. Or rather, don't say he didn't warn us himself. Somewhere between the Tour of Flanders and whatever World Tour race they invent next month to squeeze out another 200 Ks of hope, it's bonkers. Thanks for watching today's video. Again, you may not agree with anything I've said here or only some of it, and that is what the comment section is here for. Please comment down below your opinions on what you think of this, and also consider leaving a like on today's video before you go. In my personal opinion, this is what reflects how I feel. The video today is my own opinion based on the conclusions I have come to that Tadej is just racing way too much. It would be different if he was dominating every race and not going 100%, but he's quite literally going 100% and still losing some of the races and getting into pretty risky crashes and falls. Okay, his crash at Paris-Roubaix can't exactly be called a crash, it was more like a fall, but still. He's really risking everything, and I feel like he is just doing too much at this point. Why do you think he's racing too much? Is it Team UAE forcing him into this, or is it his choice? We'll never truly know, as most of the contracts are quite secretive, and they're not necessarily always publicly available. If you want to stay up to date with all of the latest cycling news, cycling drama, and cycling race results, then hit subscribe to this channel if it's your first time here, as I upload every single day. I'll catch you guys in the next one.